Y'all, we are here. I just pitched my podcast. I actually pitched it twice. I pitched it to Charlemagne the Guy, and I did it at the Nissan Picture Podcast thing. So let's see if we're going up, guys. Okay, y'all. So I went to Charlemagne the Guy's Black Effect Podcast Festival solely to get out of my head, because I've been in my head for a while. Everybody been asking me for a pod, and I just couldn't get out of my own way. So I went here to see other creators create and just be effective with having podcasts. And baby, it gave me so much inspiration. I was like, let me go ahead and drop mine. I had the pleasure of doing a meet and greet with him and meeting so many amazing people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and drop my pod as soon as I leave here. I just have to do it. I got to get out my own way. Trap Nerds was there. Woman Evolve, Cam Newton with Funky Fridays, R&B Money, just so many great talents there to give knowledge and just showcase to us what we do. So let me showcase to you what I do. Okay, y'all, it's your girl Mya Lamis, and this is my very first episode of Beyond Normal. Okay, and today we're just going to talk a little bit about me, how I got started on my content journey, what led me here, and what this podcast is about. Okay. Is that okay with you? I want you to drop it in the comments if that's okay with you, okay? So how I started making content was, at first I just started making random videos. I wasn't even taking it serious. Like, I was not taking it serious at all. Like, I would just do a video here and there. I was more so of a scroller. But then I seen how people was making money on it, okay? They was making so much money. I was seeing all these content creators, their lives was changing. And at first I was like, that's not for me. I'm not that social, all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Why can't it be for me? Why can't I do it? So what had happened was, because I gotta tell y'all, what led me to really start making content was that I got fired from my job. I know y'all like, what, Maya? Yes, y'all, I got fired from my job. So I was working at this job and I started having migraines that caused me to pass out. And with those migraines, like, I felt like the job didn't care about me because I was busting my behind. Like, I was going to work early, leaving late, working on the weekends. And y'all know working weekends is against my religion, okay? It's definitely against my religion to work on the weekends. But I was going above and beyond for this company because I really loved the work that I was doing. And then when I got sick, it was like, oh no, we're not going to look out for you. I asked them to let me work from home, because working from home, my doctor cleared me to work from home with the migraines. Because I pass out, my doctor don't want me really driving, because if I pass out behind the wheel, we all know what's going to happen with that. So I'm like, hey, can I work from home? They was like, no, we can't let you work from home. What we can do for you is we can send you out on FMLA. And when, if you get better within them 12 weeks, cool. If not, we'll have to figure something out. So the 12 weeks went by. My doctor still didn't clear me to drive. So they end up letting me go. And I was like, so heartbroken. When I say I was heartbroken, you would have thought I broke up. Like, I was, why would they do me like that? All my blood, sweat, and tears. And come to find out, my migraines came from stress on the job. My migraines are stress induced. And I was stressed at work because I wanted to make sure I was doing a good job. So really, that really gave me a bad taste in my mouth about jobs. I was like, you know what? I don't think working a job is for me. Okay. But I know I got to have a job until I get to where I want to be. But I was like, you know what? I don't really care about jobs no more. That really put the sour taste in my mouth. Like, I don't want to work no more. I don't want to work for somebody else. I would rather work for myself. That's when I started pushing my clothing line and things like that. And at the time, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, I started doing a clothing line. It was booming, but I really didn't know the motion behind, like, how these people have these big brands. I didn't know how they got there. Essentially, I was lost and confused, and everybody wants you to pay for an ebook. They want you to pay for a class. And I started doing that. And the more I was doing it, I was realizing, like, these people got me paying for ebooks and classes. Whole time, the ebooks and classes not telling me nothing except for how much money you got. And what led, like how I'm telling you my backstory. That's all these people be telling is their backstory, but they don't ever give the bread and butter. I want the bread and butter, okay? Honey butter, if you got it. Like, I was so upset. So then I was like, you know what? Let me learn this stuff and let me make ebooks. So I started making ebooks with nothing but information. Like, literally, there'll be one small page about me and the rest will be straight knowledge, right? So then that wasn't really selling. I'm like, why my stuff not selling? What is going on? people don't tell you that you need to pay for advertisement, or if you know people who are bigger that don't mind advertising for you. But we'll get into that later because this podcast is about a lot of things, okay? But yes, that's how I got the nasty taste in my mouth about these jobs, okay? It made me view jobs like I was just a number, which is the truth. Because the sunken place is real, right? The America is whitewashed. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's whitewashed, and we tend to pander to Caucasian people. We do. Like I felt like I needed to have a job. I felt like I had to be nice to everybody. I felt like I had the code switch and couldn't be myself. And once that happened with that job, all that went out the window. But I still had some blinders on. I didn't know I had blinders on, but technically I still had some blinders on. So I started working from home. I found a work from home job. And I don't know who in their right mind work at call centers for their whole life, but I do not like taking calls. Plus, I had a terrible supervisor. I ain't gonna say her name, but I had a terrible supervisor. The rules she was making up as she went, and I knew that she was new by the things that she was saying and doing because it didn't make sense. A lot of the stuff she was saying and doing made no sense whatsoever. So I started making videos work from home. A lot of y'all might know me from my work from home videos. Hey y'all. Um, but yeah, that's what kind of made my content go where it went. Is the work from home videos. Everybody can relate to having a crazy supervisor or a job with crazy rules. So my numbers started growing, and I still wasn't really taking it serious because I really was using it as a vent session. Like I was venting to y'all. I didn't because I don't really have friends like that I can vent to or that I feel comfortable venting to. So I started venting to y'all, and then my numbers started growing. And once I hit 10K, I was like, hold on, this may be something that I can do. I might need to keep going because for me to get the 10K without even trying, okay, let me take this serious. So I got fired from the work from home job. Y'all gonna see I always get fired. Okay. I don't think it's not that I'm not a good worker, but once that job put that taste in my mouth, I was just like, I'm not about to give y'all my all no more just for y'all to kick me to the curb and hire somebody else within 24 hours. I'm not doing it no more. So once I got fired from that job, I was just a stay-at-home mom for a few months trying to make ends meet, trying to figure it out. My husband hold down the fort, but as y'all know, in America, they do not pay people much. So I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to go back to work. And I wasn't back at work yet, but one day after dropping my son off at daycare, I had an incident at a gas station. And this is the incident that fully took my blinders off because me getting fired partially took my blinders off, but this situation at the gas station really, really, really took my blinders off. Like, so what happened at the gas station was I dropped my son off. The gas station was right next door, right? Get to the gas station. It's only 4 pumps. I live in a small town. So it's only 4 pumps at this gas station, right? You have the first 2 pumps the first 2 pumps directly in front of me and the 2 pumps right there. So on the technically left side of the pump, there were no cars there. On the right side of the pump, there was a Jeep and I want somebody else in front of the Jeep, but they wasn't there long. So I pulled up to the first pump. And when I pulled up to the first pump, I noticed a work truck that was like turning around. I'm guessing they were trying to come to the pump. So instead of me pulling all the way up to the second pump, I pulled up to the first pump, but I didn't pull all the way up because I was trying to leave some space because I have a car and you were in a work truck. So I figured you needed more space. So at the first pump, not pulled up all the way and it left them enough space to pull up to that second pump. Y'all, this man got out the car and was like, "You need to move." No, he was like, what did he say? I got out the car. I started walking to the walking in the gas station so I could pay for my gas. And he was like, "You need to fucking move." And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like at first I'm just looking because I'm like, who he talking to? Like I'm legit just like, damn, he about to cut somebody out. And I'm looking around. He was like, "You heard me, you black bee. You need to fucking move." And I'm like, oh, he talking to me. So then I walk back towards my car and I'm like, sir, I left you space. I don't know what the issue is. I left you space. What's the problem? So then he like, you people think you can just do it the fuck you want to do it. Da-da-da-da." And I'm just like, oh yeah, he tripping. So I told after I let him go off and I was like, sir, I'm a content creator. I'm just gonna let you know that if you don't calm down, I'm gonna start recording you and you're gonna go viral. I don't give a fuck. You think you can do what you want to do? No. Oh, okay. Boom. Pulled out my phone. There you go. Keep talking. But he shut up the moment I pulled out my phone. And then, of course, Caucasian people stick together. Some other Caucasian man came from nowhere and started coming at me crazy, recording my license plate and all of that stuff. And I never had a situation like this. Like I've never I'm from New Jersey, first of all, by way of Augusta, Georgia. And I know the South is supposed to be racist, but I did not. This was my very first racial encounter in my 32 years of living. At the time, it would have been like 31 years of living. But yes, that was my first ever racial encounter. I was so distraught. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, why? And it was recorded. It's all over the internet. It actually went viral. But that right there made me look at the world different. I was like, dang, Caucasian people are not nice. Cause in my head, I'm always friendly with everybody. You like me, I like you. I like you until you give me a reason not to. That's just the person I've always been. Blinders was on because after that, I started. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff that I started noticing. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, you said what? Oh, excuse me. Oh, like I started noticing how nasty Caucasian people are to black people, and not before, but my blinders was on because I never witnessed a situation and I was never in a situation personally. Like you see it all over the news, you see what's going on, and you kind of low key blind to it because you like, oh well, this don't happen where I'm at. It that ain't never happened to me, or oh, it wouldn't be me, or if it was me, I'ma do this, do that. Cut all that. When it happened to you, you not gonna react the way you think you're gonna react. You just not. I thought because I'm a tough girl. I'm from Jersey. We like to fight. I thought I was gonna be more aggressive, more rah 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 rah. I fucking cried, like, and I was so disappointed in myself for crying. But I'm glad I cried versus the latter because if I would have snapped off, popped off, put my hands on somebody, and the police showed up, I would have been the one that they tried to arrest or kill because that's what they do. We know this already. So I'm glad that I was able to keep my composure and stay calm. But at the same time, I was like, racism is really, really real. Like I can't believe this. And like I said, I started noticing different things. Like my job where I work at now, this man walked up to the desk. He didn't want me to check him out because I was black, or at least that's what I'm assuming. Because he went over to the next thing, and he let the Caucasian girl check him out just fine. He walked up to me with a nasty look on his face, looked me up and down, and then he went over to the Caucasian girl and changed his whole attitude. He was like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And I was just like, "Well, what did I do to him besides say, hey, how you doing?" Like I don't know. I started noticing and peeping so much stuff. And of course, with politics and all that just made me look at everybody completely different. But before I had that experience, I was just overly friendly. I would kind of say I kind of pandered to them. Not over black people because I always been pro black, but I was always overly nice and always, wanted to be in a space. Oh, like I used to like to go to this Caucasian bar because I used to have a fun time with them. Now you won't catch me in there at all. I would never go back. I would never go back. I don't trust. I'm sorry, I don't trust them because even the ones that say they with us, they family members may not be. Or like say if you got a cool Caucasian homegirl and her boyfriend don't like black people, if you and her boyfriend get into an altercation, who you think side she gonna choose? Her boyfriend. So that just made me look at things different. These both were pivotal moments in my life. The gas station incident and me losing my job. That made me look at society completely different. Okay. So now my blinders are completely off. Completely off. When I say I peep everything, I peep everything. Not like period. I peep it all. Okay. I hear it all. I get that high pitched voice like, oh hi, how are you? That's not even your real voice. Stop talking. Like I'm very like aware of my surroundings now because I live in South Carolina in the middle of nowhere. So I'm very overly aware now. But truth be told, a lot of people may feel where I'm coming from because if you don't experience, you don't believe it's for real. If you don't experience it yourself. I had a conversation with my little brother about that because it's if you don't experience something, you don't really see it. It's not that you don't see an issue with it. Your blinders are really on until it happens to you. Okay. So after all that, I created my brand Beyond Normal. And this is for the people who want to get off the hamster wheel, for the people that see the problem with the world and want to unite and come together. Beyond Normal is about breaking barriers, elevating in life, and proving that anything is possible. It's for those who refuse to settle and are determined to create your own legacy. Because working for somebody else is not it, y'all. We go to work to pay bills. And then once we pay bills, we got to figure out how we're going to get groceries, how we're going to get gas, how we're going to do all these things that they don't pay us enough to do. They don't. They don't at all. And I'm really sick of it. And if anybody else sick of it, drop it in the comments because it is there is a better life that we can have. We just got to create it for ourselves. And the truth is, we can come together. I do feel like, and y'all gonna eat me up in the comments for this. I do feel like black people and white people can come together. Caucasian people just gotta admit the wrongdoing. Y'all gotta take y'all blinders off too. Y'all gotta take y'all blinders off so we can work together. And because until you have a racial encounter or witness one, you truly have blinders on. The sunken place is really real. Like you are in the sunken place. You don't think certain things go on because it hasn't personally happened to you. And I'm here to tell you it does go on. You just have to take those blinders off. I'm talking about from the police brutality to Caucasian people thinking you gotta show them proof that you live where you live. Like just weird little things that's going on in the world today, and it's 2025. Plus, those of you who are not new here, y'all know I do White History Wednesday where I reveal the true history of America and what really happened during those times and how things actually started and how Caucasian people back then were really monsters, and some of them still are. I'm not gonna say all, but most of them still are. I talk about all these things. Um, so if you want to get out this toxic work cycle, I can't talk that. Lord, I'm on my lunch break too, by the way. So if y'all let me know if y'all feel like I'm rushing. Because this is my first episode. I am a little nervous. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all gonna learn here. I'm very honest. I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel. I tell you if I got a burp. Okay. I'm very honest. But if you want to get out this toxic work cycle, learning true history, politics, and learning the way to make extra money, meet new people that's on the grind, like-minded people, and you ready to elevate in life, this podcast is for you, okay? This is for you. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are family, okay? We are family. Don't. I got all my sisters with me. Ah, ah, But I'm just playing. No, but for real, y'all, it's time for us to elevate. So on this podcast, I am going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about celebrity gossip. We're going to talk about true history. We're going to talk about politics. I'm going to teach y'all extra ways to make money. I'm going to teach y'all, I'm going to introduce people who are also on the grind and just figuring out life and trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And then of course, once I get big, hopefully I can have some big people that can, give us some information on how to grow. Okay. But if you're ready to elevate, baby, this is for you. Okay. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. If you listening, I appreciate you listening, honey. Thank you for joining the Beyond Normal family, okay? Make sure you get me on all social medias. My name is Mya Lamis. And make sure you go ahead and check out my merch, check out my ebooks, because y'all, it's time for us to get this money. With Trump being in office, we need to figure out how to get money so that way we are not left behind when the dust settles. Because he is kicking up so much dust right now. And when the dust settles, a lot of people going to be homeless and without a job. I'm not trying to be in that number, okay? I'm trying to keep a roof over my head. But y'all, this has been an amazing first episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. And I will see y'all later. Beyond normal, because normal was never enough. Period.